Alright, so here we go, trying to prove that you can prime cycle platforms in Blackroot if you're not skipping the cutscene beforehand. So first up, I have to start the game fresh to show the initial cycle, and then we'll show the primed cycle after. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this file, we're going to work with the same file, and this one I've not been in BRB yet. I've just gone down. I never loaded the BRB platforms. I'm just out in glades with wall jumping sign. So first things first, we'll just go through BRB. I'll place a save at the spot that I will propose saving in Oreo to fix the cycles, and then show the broken cycles, and then load the save to show how they get fixed. And then after that, we're going to do exactly the same thing with the same file copied out, and the cycles are already going to be fixed because I saved and reloaded in Blackroot. And for whatever reason, watching this cutscene fully seems to matter. When I just debugged into Blackroot, I got some different results, so we'll just not use debug so that we more closely resemble what will actually happen in runs. So we're expecting that the normal cycle manipulation that you do in all skills is going to not work here. I'll get there and then the platform will be up at the top. Now hopefully we don't mess up in Blackroot too much here. I'm also going to not die. Preferably, because that could mess with things either, and the most interesting case is the one where everything goes according to plan. Okay. So I also... oh shoot, I was supposed to save down there. Whatever, we'll show that on like another pass, I suppose. Okay, so here we are up at the top. Do a cycle manip. Then we go, and this platform is going to be up at the top. Like, this is you getting screwed on the Oreo cycle. And it's going to remain this way. Oops. Give me a... okay, we're just gonna die. So, yeah, so that cycle is going to stay like that. Now, I guess I'll restart the game fresh again, and then show the way you can fix that cycle from a fresh restart. Which is, for whatever reason, doing a save and reload before we get there. So we'll delete that file, we'll copy from the same file we did it originally, we'll do exactly the same thing, but with a save reload at the top of the laser part. Should probably fast forward this part of the video because I have nothing interesting to say, so let's just skip ahead to when I actually get to the cycle at the end. And then I'm going to have to do it all again to prove that the platform gets primed by doing this save reload while the game's been open. Get this lovely cutscene again. And I don't think I'm going to include it, but other testing indicates that the cycle gets fixed by watching the spirit tree cutscene, or like having the spirit tree cutscene open and then skipping it, which is interesting. But that's why this does not happen in Glitchless, where you get these really strange cycles like you would in Oreo. Trying to back boost me. Okay, so this time I'm gonna do what I would propose to fix the cycle in Oreo, and also note that if you're doing this strat, you don't need to restart the game to legitimize the run, because if you do a save and reload there, it shouldn't matter if you've already primed the platforms, because that will reset the platform cycle to this one, which is the one you're used to seeing in all skills and like every other category. So here we do a cycle manip, and then the platform is going to come down to meet us, and then the next stream is going to sync up. I might as well show the next stream syncing up since we've already invested this much time into this. That's exactly the cycle that you'd expect in other categories, and it's because of that save reload that it happens. Now, I'm going to delete that file. We're going to copy from the same file without restarting the game, and then we're not going to do that save reload. Except the cycle is still going to work. Because the platforms are primed onto that cycle for whatever reason. Or I'm going to be very confused after having gone through this many times. And we'll accept that I just don't understand Blackroot if this cycle does not work out. So I'm thinking what happened in Oreo runs is if you're doing runs for a while and you got one to probably when you're trying to go get light grenade and you do a save reload on the lever below the dash room, that probably fixes this platform cycle and primes it. I'm not sure if you can unprime it by saving somewhere else in the game. I haven't gone that far, but we'll see what's going on soon enough. Alright, good. We never died on the lantern part all these times. So that's always nice. I'll just wait here. I think I could have beat this laser cycle, but the laser cycle doesn't matter. It's the platforms that matter. I just really didn't wanted to make sure I didn't die and like offset everything. Okay. So because the platform is primed, I should be able to just cycle manip and have everything work out. So here we are, cycle manip, and we go, and it's down at the bottom, which is completely the opposite cycle of what we saw in the first place, where I did exactly the same thing in Blackroot, more or less, like, you know, allowing for small movement changes, but that shouldn't matter because these middle room platforms are synced, and the manipulation worked. So there you go. Blackroot platforms can be primed, but only in Oreo, because every other cutscene does things that avoid that. And yeah, so I think to legitimize Oreo runs, you either have to do a game restart or you have to do that save reload at the top of the lasers to set the platforms that back onto a normal cycle. And you know what the heck, this video is already way too long, so let's do this. Let's delete this file. Let's do another restart of the game. And this time, we'll go watch the Spirit Tree cutscene, and then we'll do Blackroot again, and the cycle will work. Because for whatever reason, watching the Spirit Tree cutscene, or maybe it's like going to Glades that causes it, but I think watching the Spirit Tree cutscene makes more sense. And then the cycle will work out, even though we just saw a fresh restart going through Blackroot that had the cycle not work after, you know, not doing a save reload or anything like that. So okay, let's get to the Spirit Tree. I don't believe debugging around outside has any effect on it, and there's plenty of evidence from glitchless runs showing that the cycle manipulation works out normally. And I believe the reason is that glitchless comes and watches this cutscene, or comes and skips this cutscene before you get to Blackroot. So I'll just turn you for a sec. We can get through this cutscene, and then we'll go back and run through Blackroot one more time. Alright. So back to Blackroot. Dude. go get Charge Flame, come down to Glades, go over to the right. Alright, so we're down here, let's go to Blackroot. And what I'm expecting is that despite the fresh restart, the cycle is just going to work because I went to that Spirit Tree cutscene. Something about these platforms has changed, and now they're on the same cycle that you would expect to see in all skills, or in Oreo after having done the reload at the top of the lasers. There's one more pass through Blackroot. Hopefully I won't die and completely invalidate all of this in this one. Should have really made this file with like 15 health instead of 4. I guess if I fall into those spikes I can just like debug control myself up, although I really wanted to avoid using debug in Blackroot in this. Just play it safe. Alrighty. So just fresh what's happening on this one. It was a fresh game restart. We didn't do a save reload inside Blackroot or have primed platforms or anything. All we did was go watch the Spirit Tree cutscene, and we're gonna come over here and we're gonna catch the cycle. And we might as well finish it off by going and showing that this next dream cycle will work out. And this is what you see every time glitchless, because for whatever reason the Spirit Tree cutscene changes things. But there you have it.